We shall see. I look like crap and doing a reading on a turkey day. Oh, snap. Well, the good thing, I'll be able to access it easy, so that is a plus. The bad thing is, hey, Coco, babe. Currently, I got an hour reading that I'm doing. Zoom is being stupid. So I had to jump up on here and do this reading. As you can tell, I look like I've lost my mind because it's Turkey Day. And we're trying to get stuff ready, and I've got a reading to do, and I haven't got to shower yet. It's great. Fun times. We are cooking. Yesterday I did the cold slaw and all that fun stuff. And then today it's turkey and all the stuff that I couldn't wait. Andre, are you hearing me, buddy? I was going to put in the title, Andre's reading, but I'm like, privacy, you know. Doo-doo. Is my sound not working? There it is. I made my potato salad yesterday. Potato salad is awesome. As long as it doesn't have raisins in it. I don't know why people do that. I mean, each to their own. Maybe it adds a sweet taste. I don't know. Hey, that Mrs. Dash would be the bomb. Andre, honey, if you can hear me, let me know. It's like the most thing I'm most excited about cooking besides, well, the hubby's doing the turkey, so he took over the reins on that one. But I'm most excited to make my 5 cheese mac and cheese. Like, I'm super excited. But that's going to be at least a couple hours because we don't do ours till late. So, yeah, I see that you're here, but you said that you were having issues with the sound. Do you hear me now? I'm going to assume you hear me now. Woo! You can hear me. Okay, so we can start this one of two ways. Either I can lay out the cards and we can see what pops up and we can discuss it, or we can start off with a question and work our way through, kind of something to build on. It's up to you on what you want to do. And the ham sounds amazing. I wish I had a camera so I could flip it to show you guys. It's like Majestic. He's over there with a stick of butter, just giving it hell. Asking you last time you were on live. I asked that question, your candle flickered, and you told me that our relationship is going to be intense about my mate and accept. Okay. So was that more of a statement than a question, or was that a question and I'm just not awake enough to understand it? Just wondering about her generally. All right. Let's find out about this mystery lady. How will things go with this lovely lady? All right, I'm going to have to move my computer back because we're actually going to do a spread instead of me just popping. Well, that's not a spread. But we will acknowledge it. That one was right there. Is this the one that you're looking at, the girl? Is she kind of one of those ones that tends to get in little spats here and there? The reason that I bring that up is because this right here, because there's a piece. So, I don't know her yet. How things go, I don't know her yet. Because we got peace and then we got happiness in reverse. Which happiness normally is a good thing, but when it's in reverse, maybe there was a situation where there was an argument, and then right now they're kind of in this state where they don't know what to really do. Or maybe they came from a place dealing with past issues that they're still trying to find peace within themselves about. So this is the one that I was like, well, you didn't belong in here. And it was this. Now, normally I keep this in there because it is a card. It's just a random blank card. So that means right now it's kind of like a blank slate. Starting new, starting afresh. Now we've got the two of discs, which is normally our yin and our yang. Well, the yin and the yang is in reverse. So when I see that in reverse, that means that there's an imbalance within oneself. And then we've got the Ace of Discs, which the Ace of Discs is self. So that lets me know that that confirms it. We've got the Nine of Wands also in reverse, which this just means challenges faced with oneself. There's a lot of self-doubt, and it basically stems from past experience, which leads to worry, which leads to sorrow, and leads to feeling like they're powerless. So that's kind of like the situation and what they're coming from. They're still dealing with shit mentally, but it feels like they don't want to put that onto someone else, if that makes sense. But maybe I felt like this is directed towards me, hence the question, in all honesty. I mean, it's very possible. It could be a little bit of both. Or we just have that much in common. I mean, it could be it could possibly be both. I mean, if you think about it, normally when two people get together, they'll realize a lot of similarities. And maybe that's why you guys have crossed paths at this point in time. Now, is it going to be forever, ever? I don't know yet. But is it something to build on? Yeah. Because you both can understand where each other's coming from. You know, it's hard to build relationships with other individuals when they don't understand the past trauma. You know what I mean? At least by having someone that understands issues and how they arise. Really, that one there. So we got the Nine of Swords, which this one will represent you. It's kind of like the point of just keep on moving. And the more you move, the less time that you got to think about everything else. And then we've got the Fool, which the Fool always means starting on a new journey, taking a different perspective in life. And then we've got Abundance. Now, with Abundance, we're going to look to our next card, which is Failure in Reverse. So even though you've had things happen in your life, you've had a pretty good abundance of being able to achieve certain things as long as your mind is really dedicated to it, which has led you to a little bit of rainy day fund money, that I would say. Because this is the Ten of Disc, which deals with wealth. Since it's in an upright position, means that you're doing better in your finances. But at one point in time, you did have some obstacles that stopped you from doing the things that you wanted to do. And you've had to do kind of like a pro and con to kind of get yourself situated. That way you don't make a fucking big mistake. Which has led you to think logically. Now we also got this one, which is the Devil in reverse. So that tells me at one point in time, you actually had someone who was trying to control either your life, your finances, or a certain situation that you're starting to be able to break free from. That is acknowledgement of that. So, I mean, if you look at what her reading was and your reading, there's similarities. Now, if we look at it from an astrological point, let's see what we get. Same shit. Yeah, we both are growing. It seems just by judging those two. Okay, so this is kind of like a together one. So on the first one, we have the 9th house, which deals with travel. But since it's in reverse, there's not a lot of travel. You're staying at home more, maybe getting to do more at home things, which is freeing up time. But it's also arising emotions too, which could be the whole start of this. So we got the 8th house, which is just like the card that we seen in the first reading, which is all about balance, the yin and the yang, and trying to figure it out. Underneath that 8th house is the first house. The first house is the house of self. So it's confirmation that there's things that need to be a balance within oneself. And it seems that it's not only her that needs balance, but you that needs balance. And it feels like maybe both of you might add a certain balance to each other. But it doesn't mean it's always going to happen that way. Because we got Libra, but we got Libra in reverse. Now, if one of you are Libra, it'll take on a different meaning than the whole balance. But it feels like a shift. Especially when we're dealing with Saturn, which deals with more of the way we act and the way we feel. Jupiter is how we respond, especially within the matters of Venus when it comes to love. And then in the last is Mars, which is more of a war card, which is in reverse. So it's a time of peace. But when there's a time of peace, there's also a time of sadness that's linked to it. So it seems like it's built on, thus far, being able to see how fucked over you both got and be able to find common ground and be able to heal wounds within each other and bring in balance. When I say fucked up, I mean fucked up in the best way. And that balance is free coming up. I have another deck I'm missing. It's my little black deck. Might be over there. Right. Thank you. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're more of the rock supporting type and she's more like, she's argumentative, don't get me wrong. That girl can hold her damn own. But even a queen needs a rock. Yeah, that explains it. Okay, so we got the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups, that deals with love and happiness, which is in with the house planet. So that goes together. So, I mean, there's stuff that can be built. Then we got the Page of Cups, which is working towards a goal to bring it forth and manifest it through communication. Now, this is the one that really kind of makes me go, because we got the Lovers, but we got the Lovers in reverse in the 7th house in love. So I don't think that I think that there's a spark, but it's not like I'm head over heels. I want to marry you and go on a journey far, far away. I don't feel like it's to that point yet. Exactly. It'll progress over time. And once again, that 8th house popped up with this. This card is the 2 of Cups, which is starting conversations, starting anew, building a foundation, taking that step forward. Exactly. I feel like it's going to be surrounded by more of a balance, because balance keeps on coming up through this whole reading so far. And what it seems to me is you have a light perspective and a dark perspective, like a yin and a yang. One of you's more fluffy, one of you's more dark. It's okay. You get free cookies, or she gets free cookies. Somebody's getting free cookies. But it's helping balance each other out. And I feel like there's going to be a spiritual aspect. And the reason I say that is because we get the High Priestess. And she normally deals with the things that we don't see. Maybe there's even some family who are kind of pushing you from the afterlife to kind of get together in a weird way. Because the goals that you both want to achieve are close and similar. Right. Hecate does have that effect. And then the Chariot, normally I say the Chariot is one that faces backwards. But I feel like we're moving forward from a past relationship that you had where it kind of just didn't work out. Maybe there was an argument that was had, which left you in a period of depression. And kind of an asshole. Just a little bit. Not too bad. Just it's it's expected. You know what I mean? When you get hurt, you kind of get that fuck the world vibe. So, I mean, no one can really blame it for you. I love Hecate. Matter of fact, I've got a recipe that I'm going to end up sharing on here. Side note, this isn't part of your reading. It's supposed to be a drink of the heroes. And it is a Greek drink. And the way that it's situated is it's got cheese in it, but I think that was like some kind of version of their own yogurt. So there's going to be like this Greek smoothie here in a couple weeks. I'm going to end up posting. Side note, it's random as hell, but it happens. To be honest, only human. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's good things, but I feel like there's someone who wants to talk to you. Focus. Freedom. Right. Which the being cheated on explains quite a bit of these cards that we will go through. I feel like at one point in time in your life, you were trying to make a wish for something that you knew wasn't going to fucking happen, which left you ending up carrying on a stronger burden than you really had to. It left you hurt. Whatever the situation was, maybe it had to deal with the ex, but these are the cards that popped up. Might have even had to do something with family. Feel like it hurt you, but you kind of expected it. Then we got this card. So whatever the situation was, someone was hiding shit from you, which seems like an ex. And then you got one dangle of truth within the lie. Now, normally the puppet show means deceiving. But since it's in reverse, there wasn't a deceiving. It was more of a, you're not focusing to the details, which this was in reverse, by the way. So it was not focusing on the little hints. See, when this nature card popped up, it was in reverse. And I'm like, what the fuck do I need to tell him? Be out in nature. Then as I start to look in the cards, you can't handle, not handle, that's not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? Control. You can't control how people are. And I feel like that's one of the lessons that you've had to learn, especially over the last year or two. And this is what I mean. So we got this card, which is the Three of Cups. Then we've got the 10 of Pentacles in reversed. Then we've got the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Then we got, my fingers will pick it up, the Queen of Wands in reverse, which is all about having no control, no power over a situation. And yet you played the game. It's like your intuition was keying up. But I feel like there was something good that happened as well. Kind of like a clean cut. But it was more of a public clean cut. Like this wasn't done in private. Yeah, I kind of figured because there was like a celebration card that popped up, and normally that means those who were around you um, were kind of glad that it was done. Because no matter how much we try, every relationship we have and those who have relationships within it, everyone gets affected by everyone. You know how it goes. It's like a chain. Once one chain starts to loosen, the rest of them do too. That's what I'm saying. Feels like you've gotten a lot of insight over the years, though. Like from a spiritual standpoint, I feel like you see more than what you say, which is evident in this card. Because normally when this card comes up, it means that we're saying things that we should keep our mouth shut. This one lets me know, hey, you're not saying what you should be saying. And then we got the King of Swords, which stands for wisdom and strength. So, whatever you've gained over the last few years has really worked out in your benefit. I keep getting this word almost like a vision quest. It's almost like a vision quest. Because there's things that you've improved on that you realize didn't help you within yourself. Which anybody that does shadow work knows that you have to pass judgment on yourself before you can pass judgment onto another. And I feel like that's what you did, because I feel like situations in your life, you're like, is there a pattern? Well, yeah, there's a pattern. I'm always in it. Well, is it me or is it the people around me? So I think there was some things that you knew that you needed to fix that you didn't want to face up front. But by using the path that you walk, you started to fix those pieces. Exactly. Interesting to keep because walking with Hecate is one. Which I think is why this card popped up. Right. There, okay, since you work with Hecate, every time we do self improvement on ourselves, especially when working with Hecate, we're unlocking one door and closing another door, which seems to be the theme. Like, you've learned a lot of hard fucking lessons, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. Like, you dealt with some shit. And there's two people. It's like a grandmother and either a grandfather, or maybe a grandmother and a father that are either were helping you when you were younger, because I feel like when you were younger, you were dealing with a lot of issues, especially with yourself. But I feel like there was like an older generation couple that kind of brought you out. Is the grandmother the one that passed? Okay. did she tend to kind of be a fixer? You know what I mean? Like if shit was going down and someone needed something, she was always the one they went to. Because the reason I say that is I got travel coming up. And I got it's like a weird dynamic. Like while one's fixing and like you said, while one's fixing another's fixing another. But in the end, it's like a continuous cycle. And then with the gentleman, we got the King of Wands, which it appears that he's more of a storyteller type, while she's more of the I see what's wrong, let me fix it type. Let me give you some advice. And the reason I bring up about a woman is because I keep hearing like an old lady. It's like someone that tries to get too much in at once because they know they got a short amount of time. It could be a spirit guide. It could be a past loved one. Happy Thanksgiving, Brownie. Okay, so there's two interpretations of how I can take this. Did somebody die in bed at home? Okay, then it's the other way. So I got the Tower in reverse. I've got the Three of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So when the Tower is in reverse, that means coming up from a situation that one would not want to be a part of, but leaving behind the connection. So that's why I'm asking if someone, well, this one is the reason I'm asking if someone had died in their bed. Just because I feel like there was a lot of things that could have been said that were not said. And if they were said, it wouldn't have offed a chain of events. Question is, what was a chain of events? It's possible. It is truly possible. The only reason I bring up it being family is because normally when this card comes up, it has something to do with family. Because you got the one who it started with, and then with each generation, they each have to deal with the same shit. I've had a lot of dicks in my life, so it's accurate. Sames. Like, that's a mood. Oh, man. Sometimes I love readings. You already got that bird in the oven? Girl, you better be working on that homework and getting it good. So we got the cups, Page of Cups in reverse, which means a journey that someone didn't want to take. And then it seems like someone was trying to put different ideas into one's head, and it wasn't working out, and it just came off as them just fucking yelling. Relationship. Period of no strength. And a period of unworth. There's a lot of self-doubt. A lot. Or there was a lot of self-doubt. Narcissist in my family. Makes sense. Bless you. You're welcome. I'm getting over it. What the fuck is that? Because that looks like German. Is that German? Because that looks like German. Kind of figured, because normally greetings in German are like, they always start with a "G." Like they're about to go after something. Huh? G. It's just an observation. You know what's also an observation? Hot coffee. It helps every reader. Even the prophets of Delphi had hot coffee. Probably not, but that's how I'm seeing it. Future career. Imagine all the prophets of Delphi just sitting around with a cup of coffee and a cigarette going, bitch, I'll tell you what, them gods, you know what they want me to tell that girl? Mm-mm. That's how I imagine it. I feel like someone's been messing with my cards.
You.
Okay, lovers in reverse. Queen of Swords and Priestess in reverse. And then Knight of Cups and Strife Wands in reverse. We're going to make sure my soft deck is not being a dick. Love. First house. Seventh house. Uranus. Mercury. Okay, now what about the job? What is going on with the career? What's going on with the career? All right. So with career, we got Gemini in a North Node. North Node is what you're meant to do. You're kind of split. You have two passions that you want to proceed, one that pays and one that's more of an artistic expression, which I mean, it could eventually pay, but realistically, one's guaranteed while the other one's kind of like a hit and miss. And the reason I say that is because this one was first, which on one hand, you have money. On the other hand, you have being able to be creative. Now you're just trying to figure out which one can you do and have both. Languages and music. Right. And that's where we get Jupiter in reverse. When we deal with Jupiter in reverse, it's being able to convey and express what we want without having to go into much detail about it, if that makes sense. Because it's like whenever you try to explain what you want in the vision, no one fucking gets it. So, I understand that. So, basically, you're at a crossroads when it comes to your career. So, The question is, what path do they take? The one of passion or the one of logic? What path do they take? Okay, that was somewhat helpful. Heed the messages. So I think that you've been asking for kind of like, hey, I'm a little lost. Can you fucking help someone out? And it seems like you're getting mixed signals of that you need to commune back to your roots. And that's why, we've got the embrace and masculine, which is brought on by the green man. And then we got protect the wild and green. Well, protect the things that you love and you know. And use those differences that you are to be able to do the path that you want to do. Because I feel the way that you're trying to take it, it almost feels like either you have to do one or you have to do the other. It's hard to get it in between, which there is an in between, and you can have your own personal spin on it instead of being a carbon copy. Which we get music. So let my natural color shine, basically have a balance and do things in a unique way. That's how to make it. How I take it. Give or so. Yeah, pretty much bottom line, I guess. If you want to simplify it, I'm just kidding with you. It's way too early and I just got hot coffee. Okay, so when it comes to your angels, because I got the angel deck, which looks like we've got music, power. Here, I'll let you see it a little bit longer. Power, and it is a pretty card. Retreat. And then we got guardian angel. So what these tell me is that if you're looking for a sign on what you want to do and what path you want to take, and you're looking for something in this category, or it's one of your options, fucking do it. You can still play it safe until you gain your power up. You know what I mean? But I feel before you're going to be able to actually make a decision, you got to get away. You got to get away from the things that are distracting you because you got too much going on around you for you to even figure out how to go about it. And it's simple. But I feel like if you had time to yourself away somewhere that brings you peace, you would be able to actually get the messages that you're looking for. Too much fucking drinking and hanging with people, to be honest. I mean, I don't have those issues, but I'm fuckery incarnated. It's pretty awesome. But I get it. Hanging around people, what else is there left to do? What time did I start? Okay. Shit, we're already 40 minutes in. Shit. Espen, Texas. Now, see, you got a reason you live in Texas. Everything's over the edge in Texas. It's a goal of mine to visit. I feel like I would find my people or get into a lot of fights. Either way, it would be interesting. So I think the overtake with all this is don't rush love. Take your time, find the balance. Look at the passions that you have. You should come, people are nice. I hear that. You were given this time to make the most of it. And realistically, if you want to break it down, there's always two sides to everybody: the side of the things that they want to do and the side of the things that they actually will do. But not many people take the leap into what they really want to do. So set you out a plan, like a yearly plan. What do they call those things? New Year's resolution. Set a minor goal, something that you know you're going to be able to achieve. Accomplish it. Once you do that, set another goal. It seems simple, which kind of it is, but we like to complicate things as humans. But you're pig-headed in a good way, which means you're strong. It means that whenever you want something and you really want it, you'll put in the desire for it and nothing's going to stop you. You always have your eye on the goal. That's a good thing. So, I mean, the only thing that's really stopping you from what you want is yourself. And that's pretty much what it's boiling down to. I mean, there's a lot of fuckery and put them bitches in their place. But overall, you have the control. Even when you feel like you don't have the control, you always have the control. It's one of those things where we got to remind ourselves that we can write the story any way we fucking want. I could go out right now and be like, I'm a secret millionaire. No one's going to fucking know, especially if they don't know me. It's not the truth, but I could. Not saying you should lie, but just saying that we have the ability to write our story how we want. Oh, yeah. Take that as what it is. You have the ability to control your outcomes. Right? Now, this is the part where you ask questions for the next 15 minutes. And whatever you ask, we will ask the cards and it's whatever you want to do, my dear. You would like to know about a past life. There is nothing wrong with wanting to know about a past life. So Venus, which stands for the girl sign, we know that. And then we got Aries, which to me, Aries gives her sign. Pisces in reverse confirms that. And then we got the ruled by Mars. which is normally associated with Aries because it's kind of like combative in a way. Not in a bad way. It's just little girls are deadly. They're like snakes. You think because they're small, they can't do harm, but they can. And then we got Moon, Sagittarius, and Uranus, and they're all in reverse, which means high emotion, sibling, and a sibling that passed, which the sibling feels more like a brother within the past life. And then we got House of Love, which is the 7th house. And then we've got the 1st house, the 10th house, and the 8th house in reverse. Which to me, maybe in your past life you got married, but it wasn't what you wanted to do. It's what you were forced to do, which created a lot of imbalance. And instead of being able to do what you want, it was quite the opposite. And a drowning. Who? A drowning of imbalance. Seems like this ain't the first lifetime that you've dealt with imbalance. Because one side you got the logical and one side you got the creative. Home situations. Now you say mom. Do you mean mom in this life or mom in past life? Was this told to you or showed to you? Why is it the same fucking setup? Let's say that. I guess I haven't changed. Yeah, there's some things that are similar, and I'm like, nope. And it's one of those things where, like, similar cards pop up, and you're like, is that because I didn't shuffle enough? Or is that because you didn't learn a lesson? Which, that's a little different. Hangman is normally one of a new journey, but it takes a little bit of convincing. So this one is a journey taken, but this one what's a little off-putting. Just for the reason being, it's a transfer of power. The question is, what's the transfer? Going into the past. Fixing oneself. Empress. Strength. And the Tower. Some days I like my cards. Some days I don't. This is one of those in-betweens. Where are you at, you little bugger? There's a lot of Gemini energy. Were you planning to go anywhere next year? I think that's where you're going to find your opportunity. Because these two correlate together. There's going to be quite a bit of things that you're going to discover on your trip, along with your purpose. Everybody has a life purpose and a goal that they want, but then they have the goal that the universe wants them to have. That's where you're going to find what you're meant to do. I feel like that trip is the reason you need to get away. You are very welcome, my dear. When people book a reading, I try to make sure that they get what they want. And then when they offer to give me extra on a holiday, I'm like, my family kind of broke me. Because food is not cheap. That is a fact. Hello, Gabriella. Crap. I will tell you something that I kind of got for myself, and I splurged, and I'm so excited I did. Because I got my kids some stuff from Five Below that she wanted, which is like this little Five Below store. Well, anyway, I found these slippers. And I know it's very random to do a reading and then talk about slippers, but this is where my life is at. These motherfuckers are so soft and comfortable. I may never wear shoes until these things fall off. It's just so comfortable. The other day, he was like, my husband was like, are you going to wait? And I'm like, why the fuck am I going to wait? Like, this is Comfyville. I have been waiting for my feet not to be so cold. I do want to get another pair, but I want to get the ones that are like the moccasins. They're a little bit more expensive, and they're from Target. See, I love that. I love being snuggly and warm and just a bunch of snow. It does snow here occasionally. It's so weird. Like when I was younger, it felt like it snowed more around this area than it has the last couple years. But I'm really hoping for some really good snow. Like I like the snow where I don't have to get out for a couple days and I can use the road as my reason. And it gives me a reason to binge watch like Netflix and sit by the fire. It's great. Today I am not. I was actually doing a reading for Coco, dear Lord, Cosmic Butterfly. So this was one of those spur of the moments, the Zoom ain't working, here we are kind of thing. And yeah. Now, if you want to pay me to do a reading on a holiday, sure. Other than that, I'm a mess. You were fine. It was horrible though, because last night me and my daughter were up till like 3:30 in the morning because she thought that she didn't have to do some stuff in English, and realized real quick, no matter if you think it's stupid, you have to do it. And then I ended up waking up at like 10, but not getting out of my bed till like when I messaged you. I was like, well, crap, I got a reason to really move now. So, yeah. And then as soon as I get off here, I've got to start prepping all the rest of my food. I really enjoyed the reading. I literally thought that you were supposed to get a reading last Friday, and my electric went out. And I sent you an email, and I'm like, crap. And then you messaged me this week and was like, they got my schedule wrong. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not the asshole. That was a horrible day. We are doing turkey. I'm doing yams, baked beans. Made the cold slaw and deviled eggs last night. Mac and cheese, rolls, cranberry sauce, and green beans. And I made a cheesecake last night. Because I got like 11 motherfuckers coming over here. Which the hubby was kind enough to butter my bird and throw it in the oven. And if I would have had enough room in my fridge last night, I would have prepped the other half of this stuff. All plus stuffing. Can't forget stuffing. Because, like, we got my brother and their 2 kids. And then me, my husband, and our 2 kids. Then his dad and his mom coming over. Then my other brother coming over. And then our neighbor lady next door, we always call her Grandma. Because she's like the sweetest lady in the world. Like, for real. I love her. I've adopted her. So we always take her a meal. So realistically, I'm feeding 12 people. I know, I missed you guys too. I've been debating all week about jumping on here and doing some readings, but I'm like, I don't feel like it. I really don't. So I kind of took the week off. I slacked. Played hooky. I figured that way, if I wait till Friday or Saturday, then we can all get on here, drink wine, and bitch about our holiday. Be great. I do need time to myself. The only time I get to myself is when I sleep. And it's so comfortable. Ugh, a cold room, a nice warm blankie. I try to talk my husband into letting me just stay in the bedroom all day. You don't need me. You've got this. I have faith in you. Yeah, that didn't work. He just laughed and said, here's your clothes. And I was like, well, you can't blame a girl for trying. My poor hair looks so bad. So poofy. It's literally bedhead. Teamwork, yay. More like, ugh. Because he hates me during the week when I wake him up for work. And now I'm like, ugh, people. It's like I always tell my kids, I'm not a real big fan of people, but for some reason they like me. So it kind of works out. I guess I'm like Eeyore and that dude off Sesame Street that lives in a trash can that's grouchy, but everybody loves. Is that his name? Groucho ain't his name. Is it? I'm going to have to look that up. Consolidated Energy.
I'm on to the last past due.
Well, good. Then we can move on to the stuff that's actually due.
So,
Hip hip. Well, at least I got one hooray. Yeah, like a Care Bear. I wait till the last moment. You are peeling and cutting my potatoes. You don't even know how many you cut in the pill.
this is masterpiece.
I know.
Pretty easy.
There's a lot of people.
Well, yes, there is.
Are you using the half bag or the unopened 10-pound bag?
There's 2 in the 10-pound bag.
I know, but one's halfway and the other one's not.
I'm going to fill until I look like I have a lot.
I'm going to peel until I look like I have a lot. Okay. Tomorrow I get to go get my Instant Pot, though. I'm excited. I don't get it till Christmas Eve, though, but I'm super excited. I got that thing. It was like originally, I think, $120. And I got it for like 20 or 30. Because I sharp way too much at Target. Shop way too much at Target. Hell yeah, it is. It's one of those, I think it's like 7 quarts. Maybe 6. I think it's 6 quarts. You know you're getting old when cookware is like, oh, I'm excited. It'll cook a tenderloin in less than 30 minutes.
So it says.
And they give you a free extra seal. It's like when you're a kid and you're like, I don't want clothes or socks. And then you grow up and you're like, I love it. Give me socks. Right? And then they come up with a stupid shit. Like a toaster that has Baby Yoda on it. And obviously, since I'm obsessed with The Mandalorian, I want the fucking toaster that has the Baby Yoda imprint on my toast. It's not logical, but I want it. That's what gets me. And they even got Baby Yoda crock pots. I fucking love Baby Yoda. I'm obsessed. I really am. Especially after the episode last week. I don't want to spoil it just in case no one's seen it, but it's so good. Hopefully, you get to have turkey and stuff. Or whatever it is you eat. How we had Chinese last night. Told the hubby next year that's what we should do. Just order Chinese. Shape the rice in like a shape of a turkey. We really need to do that. That would be the bomb. Fried rice in the shape of a turkey. It's not tofu. It's rice. That would be interesting. See, I keep on talking because I hope the more I talk, the more time I waste. So I don't have to try to go do stuff. It's great. It's so awesome. Procrastination, if it was a sport. Well, my dear, here's what I'm going to do. High five. Kudos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down as far as public later on, unless you don't care. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. But if I unlist it, I can either send the link to you where you get the link and you can look at it all you want. Or I can just leave it public. It's up to you. I'll let you decide on what you want to do. since it was your reading. I appreciate it, hon. Well, my dear, I will let you do you. And I shall go butter some stuff and add sugar. And hopefully I get to see you again this weekend. Hopefully work goes good for you, though. Talk to you later, dear. Bye.